I decided to swing by Jeranism's channel to see if he had put out any new material since the apparent disappearance of most of his stuff, and these were his 3 most recent videos. So excuse me if this video goes a little bit long, but as usual, there's a lot of ground to cover, and I'll try and do it as quickly as possible.
As you well know, science should help us explain reality. It is the systematic enterprise that builds and organizes knowledge in the form of testable explanations and predictions about the universe that we all live in.
Thank you, Jeran, for that Wikipedia definition. While you're in Wikipedia, how about you look up Earth? Now for the part that I love about his intro.
And science is built on the idea of an emphasis on experimental data and the reproducibility of its results,
Which you will not find Jeran or Dave or any of his guests performing throughout this entire video at all, ever. Alright, so here we go.
Jeran, what is the ballers' response to this? Can you share it? You have it handy?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah.
So it's the 2012 high-res image of Earth.
Their answer would be that it's too zoomed in. I don't really get it.
No, Jeran. Those who actually do their research on that specific image would actually say this, as I did back in 2017. I thought you guys researched stuff. But boy, y'all love this one. This is a composite of imagery, again from the Suomi NPP, taken around 2012. And as I showed you a little earlier, since it is a composite, which is put onto a virtual model, the reason why the United States looks a bit out of whack in this is because the camera is close to the virtual model, but with a wide field of view. Nothing tricky, nothing weird, that's just how you make this. So again, this is a composite, it is not claiming to be a single shot photo, and it's not CGI. Now, before you get all happy and start claiming that a composite is CGI, which it's not, this type of photo can actually be made quite easily and has been represented by myself and other people, which you have also not researched.
America that's all you see is America, and
Right.
every other continent is on the other side of the world.
Yes.
Well, wouldn't this be able to debunk? Can't we measure about how far that is across Mexico and see if it
Yeah, but I've
correlates
heard
to a
him say-
25,000-mile ball? I mean,
What
Yeah,
they would do is
On that, it's different.
they would take like a tennis ball, right? Draw a little something on it and then zoom entirely close to the tennis ball.
Yeah, but
So-
look, Jeran, that doesn't matter.
I'm
Because
just
they're
telling you.
showing the whole Earth,
I'm just
They're
telling you.
edges of the Earth. So
yeah, but Jared, they use that scam to say that it's a curve. You know, they've taken pictures of the horizon and made it really small and be
Here's
like,
what they're
"Oh,
basically
it's a
saying.
curve."
If we started backing up away from the Earth right now, so looking at this picture and we're in space and we started backing away, that basically we would start to reveal more features of the ball.
get out of here.
That's what they would say. That's what they would say. It's so dumb.
No, what's actually dumb here is the fact that I know that you have a GoPro, and I know that you have a globe, and you could have tested this, but you didn't. Why? Just so you can sell to your viewers that it's a lie. Moving on.
The other thing, Dave, is I saw your video. I don't know if somebody sent that to you, right? Of them doing the ball in the garage with the moon and the sun.
Oh yeah, that was good, right?
Of course, I was curious about what test was being performed, so I skimmed through an entire year of Dearth's videos, skimming through for what even appeared like any kind of a test was being performed, because that's what honest researchers do. But unfortunately, I couldn't find it, so it's possible that it's on another source. But what I did find was at the end of each one of his videos was him selling his Flat Earth Clock app, which makes absolutely no sense, and even video material that shows that they're actually tracking flat earthers. But anyway, it didn't take long for them to reveal what it was that they were actually testing.
It was good, but again, what they're going to say is that the scale's off.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty fair assumption there, Jeran. Given the long history of out-of-scale models done by flat earthers, to include Hillbilly, Potter's Clay, Antonio Subarats. Even when they show what the proper scale is supposed to be, they don't do it right. Hell, you were even trying to say that umbra and penumbra weren't a thing, and you were using out-of-scale drawings to show it.
Eclipse, and we're going to see exactly how they draw for us the umbra and the penumbra. So go ahead and go to any site that shows you how these shadows work with the eclipse or the lunar eclipse, And you'll see lines drawn like this from the top edge there of the sun down meeting with the outer edge of the earth and so forth and so on. And you have a problem. And does anybody know what that problem is? It should be kind of obvious that when they show us eclipses, they show the sun rays going at angles. You can see here that these are clearly not parallel rays. Why is it that science can invoke these different phenomena only when needed by these particular scientists?
And I even modeled out your out-of-scale drawings showing exactly what the drawing was demonstrating. But anyway, continue.
I mean, the moon needs to be, somebody needs to set it up where, and again, how the hell are you going to do this? You have to have a sunlight that is a million times the size of the Earth ball, and then you have to have a moon ball 1/4 the size of the Earth that's 30 Earth balls away.
But couldn't you make a scale? Wouldn't like a giant gymnasium? Couldn't you make a Earth and couldn't you make a scale where you could do it? And just the idea that the Earth can cast a sharp shadow on a distant object like that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's horseshit.
Yeah.
You can't cast a shadow on something a mile away.
Dave, have you ever even seen an eclipse? There's no sharp shadow cast by the Earth onto the moon. It's quite blurry because of umbra and penumbra. The blur stretches across the entire moon. And if you actually modeled something out, you might know that. Even simple tests will show you that. And wait a minute, Jeran, what'd you say?
The idea that the Earth can cast a sharp shadow on a distant object like that is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's horseshit.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's horseshit now. I'd like to refer you to somebody named Jeranism, who might set you straight on that.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jeranism, back with another video for you today. Gonna talk about the eclipse, and boy, will I get hated for this. Unlike most flat earthers as of this moment, I find nothing wrong with the globe model eclipse shadow. Unlike most flat earthers as of this moment, I find nothing wrong with the globe model eclipse shadow. So, lastly, we have a little video here of some confused people, mostly because all the little drawings and depictions we get are way out of scale, way out of whack.
So, Jeran, when you actually do models to scale, as you stated, then everything works out. The last flat earther that I knew who actually tested one of his own claims to scale, may he rest in peace, was Rob Skiba. And he even put out an apology video for the claim that he made, because when he modeled it out, he found his claim also to be invalid.
They get away with it by always saying that, again, the light would act totally different in space, right? They would say that, how do we know that there would be no sharp shadows in space? Because we're used to Earth where shadows get diffused and light gets diffused. It's so wonderful for them.
Sorry, Jeran, but absolutely nobody would say we don't know how shadows work in space because we can test shadows in a vacuum. And absolutely nobody claims that light gets diffused, especially not when we're talking about the sun. It's called umbra and penumbra. Anyway, Jeran pretty much clears out the rest of this video by talking about his favorite misinterpretation of how the Google Earth measuring tool works. Even though a couple of years ago, his buddy Dr. Zach explained it out quite clearly and told flat earthers to stop making that stupid claim. Jeran also points out things like looking east to west on the globe somehow points at the equator, which it actually doesn't. But oddly enough, it does on the flat earth map. But amidst all this discussion, their guest, Alan, injected two more popular flat earth claims.
All right, so
I just
somebody
want one picture of a plane flying upside down, Jeran. That's all I need is one plane over Australia upside
Why
down.
you gonna get one?
they'll turn the camera upside down.
Yeah, they'll fly a plane upside down.
Yet another subject that has been covered over and over and over again. Oh, and someone asked me the other day why we don't see aircraft in the photos of the Earth. This claim is simply ignorant to the facts. The largest commercial airliner right now is the Airbus A380. It has a wingspan of 80 meters. So if we made, let's say, the Airbus A380 1 pixel in size on a photograph of the Earth, with the Earth's diameter at approximately 12,742,000 meters, at 80 meters a pixel, the photograph of the Earth would have to be 159,275 pixels wide, or 25.4 gigapixels in resolution. And it wouldn't even be noticeable as an aircraft. It would be a little square. and then we would be arguing over what that pixel actually is. And of course, there was this little nugget.
Just the fact that we don't even have a simple explanation for the equinox that even makes sense, you know, and people don't even want to put that any credence in that. I mean, how do you think an equinox works, David? How do you think it happens?
Which, I'm sorry, Alan, if you can't do basic geometry, then you're right. It's never going to make sense to you. But I can tell you one place that it hasn't been demonstrated yet to function. Jeran's second video claims to be debunking the speed of light. Now, aside from the fact that there are regular tools that are used in our everyday lives that use the speed of light, this video from Jeran had absolutely nothing to do with debunking the speed of light. He ran a thought experiment and then drew his own ignorant and stupid conclusions about it. Thought experiments are not experiments in science, they are experiments in philosophy. Please learn the difference. So let's move on to the next video. Jeran's next video was nothing more than a big nuh-uh fest regarding images that have been sent back from Mars.
So hang on, go back to that picture.
Which one?
The first one.
Okay, let me go back. This one?
That picture right there was taken by my drone. It's Block Island. It's looking down a cliff. I flew it out over a cliff, and there's the beach and then the water crashing up on the shore with all the rocks.
Right.
Well, I checked all the coastlines of Block Island, and oh, I see, this was just you being sarcastic because you have no genuine argument to produce.
I want Iru. Iru would take literally 3.5 minutes to make these
I
images.
find it interesting that he calls upon Iru for this. Iru does not speak English natively and speaks with a heavy accent. Why is that important? Well, just give a listen. The video that they're critiquing is from a man who obviously does not speak English as his native language, or if he does, he has a very, very thick accent. And after about a minute or two of just straight up nuh-uh to every photo that they see, they decide to focus on the guy's accent, trying to discredit him because of the fact that he has, well, an accent.
Million views.
A network of two-tone mineral
Now,
veins
a
which
network
combine
of
light and dark
7
material.
minutes.
Mineral
All you
veins
do.
such as these form one.
See, Jerry, these guys are genius. They're in some computer farm making these videos. They see what gets a lot of views, and they're just stealing it. That's what this guy, he's in India doing this. He's a genius.
These rocks are formed by old avalanche. This here is crater rock. Crater rock have much detail in the upper left image. That's all he's doing. Let's listen some more.
Surface.
Martian rover is disturbing sand. Sand grains are small. Sand grains are all over bottom of weed. This is opportunity rover at the crater. Like this up here. Yeah, with this one.
Sandstones in this image have a knobbly texture due to nodules apparently more resistant to
nodules
erosion than
texture.
the host rock.
All right, on the next one, I want to hear Alex's impression. Alex, do one on the next image.
This is the, I'm terrible at that impressions, but this is the grain of penetration from the lack of atmosphere. Dude, I don't know. I can't do impressions. This guy's a dumbass. He's a genius scammer. This guy's a genius. This is the Space Mountain. This is the Space Mountain. This is the most important rock in Mars.
You can see the mountains in the background. See here the fine silt of the rover ground.
Wonders
Is ocean floor.
We got to shill. We just got to become space nuts now. I mean, this guy is so smart. How much money do you think he makes on a million view video? He probably makes a couple $1,000. You think?
Yeah, I think somebody said one time $4,000 for 1 million views.
Yeah, and that's probably like $25,000 or whatever country he's at.
Right, and he's peppering it with ads every 2 minutes.
Well, gee, Jeran, I seem to recall very many of your videos with self-imposed ads placed throughout the entire video, not to mention the fact that all of your desires for donations below this video to include your merchandise shop. But don't worry about answering any of that, Jeran. We all know that you won't because of the mere fact that you don't want to look like a hypocrite in front of the people that you're trying to impress, which is actually just another way to make money. So, what's your complaint again?
So it's part of a canyon floor and
Yes,
wall rock.
this one looked like a dragon, but it's actually canyon floor beds.
Southwestern Meadows Chasma.
Let's see if we can.
When he's
find
not doing this, he's calling elderly people and getting them to say their insurance is out of date and they need their credit card number to re-sign up.
or telling them that they need to go get a Green Dot card for $500
What-
to him, and then he'll return to them the $15,000 that they are due.
This
Oh.
is whale rock.
This
and wind
is
has
whale
eroded this
rock.
thinly bedded rock into incredible.
Dude, it looks just like America with just no vegetation. I mean, this is such mockery.
This is planet 75B64. It is
So it's
lo-
an ice planet.
It's an ice planet. The oceans, but you can see that there is some land or some, dark areas that could be clear ice. I'm not sure.
It is located 3.6 million light years away from the Earth. Okay, here's another one.
Yeah.
This is soft planet 7496 DC. It was discovered in 2001 by the molecular group outside of Phoenix, Arizona, with the large radio telescope. Okay.
Exactly.
And let's just do video. We can do a video like that where I just narrate the whole thing.
And you got to put some music behind it.
What is that crap? This is supposed to be a planet.
That's another
That's a fake
planet. It's very similar to Mars, and it could very well host life.
This planet also orbits two star. It's a binary system located 346 million light years away. It is in the galaxy 74B3 in the molecular clouds.
You're
Sounds-
doing good, Jeran. You're getting better. The molecular clouds, the way you said molecular clouds, dude.
What
I
is
thought
this
you were
one?
that
So,
guy.
yeah,
Purpose feature?
I would really love to know what Iru has to say about all that. Oh, and by the way, those last couple of images right there, even though Dave decided he was going to say that they were claimed to be planets that were found, are indeed actually the bottoms of frying pans. And all of those comments that I showed are actually below that video with people who are just as tasteless as Jeran and his panel. That's all I got. 3 videos, absolutely nothing shown, no research done by any of the panel members, a healthy portion of hypocrisy and racism, simply displaying that Flat Earth is not the movement that everybody thinks it is, as it has gone absolutely nowhere. Y'all have a nice day.
Oh my god.